Bob Marley and the Wailers, and is this love at BBC Radio Leeds? Details. If I give you details now, I'll do it now. Of our Comic Relief Nights, Stars in Our Eyes evening at... Now, my next guest had his life turned upside down when at just 29, having led a healthy lifestyle as a personal trainer, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer and later bowel cancer. In 2007, Lee Barker started to cough up blood and have severe cramps in his stomach. It took visits to five different... Five, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. 5
different A&E departments and insistence on tests before his cancer was diagnosed. Well, Lee is hoping to raise £15,000 for a trip to an American clinic to beat the cancer so he can enjoy life with his family and his girlfriend and their daughter, who's due in April. Lee's here this morning. Morning, how are you?
Surprisingly well, thank you.
You look incredibly well.
Yeah, I do feel really good at the moment.
How ill are you, if you don't mind me asking?
As far as wellness goes, at the moment it's quite strange because I feel better than I felt for over a year.
Yeah.
And I mean, step back 5 weeks ago, and I was at the point where there was GPs. The consultant turned around and says that it's beating me. So I mean,
you had a consultant say. You had a consultant tell you that there's no way back.
Yeah, basically I'm on the slide because I couldn't eat, and you can't eat. I'd lost a lot of weight, and you could actually see my teeth through my skin. So I mean, it was horrible. So quite.
Well, you look all right now, thank God.
Well, yeah, like I said, I saw a palliative care team, and they got me on medication that got me eating again, and I've actually left them scratching their heads because I've gone in half a stone heavier. And
brilliant, fantastic news. You were diagnosed at just 29, and you led a very healthy lifestyle. You were a personal trainer, weren't you?
Yeah, that's correct. Working full time as a personal trainer and nutritionalist. Obviously, I based all my studies on that, and I built a business around it. And it's like I said, it's irony slapping you in the face. It's like the lifestyle was, I mean, down to the point that I'd weigh my food, and I'd have a structured training plan because obviously, it being my job, I liked it as to practice what I preach. So.
Yeah. So, when did you realise there were problems? Because you started to cough up blood, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I was immersed in quite a heavy training regime,
right.
Because I'd geared my training around martial arts and furthering my fight career.
Okay.
Obviously, because that's always been my passion since I was a young lad. Because my dad and my brother prepped me up into martial arts, so I've been doing it since I was 5. So
okay.
I structured my day around that, and because of the job and the business that I had, I could work when I needed, and obviously build my training into that. And so I was immersed in quite an intense training regime, and I just thought that maybe I was overtraining and I pulled a muscle,
right.
Because obviously there's a lot of impact, a lot of boxing, a lot of sparring, and my brothers they're not small guys and bounce about. So I just put it down to maybe I bruised a rib or something and went to hospital when it didn't subside.
But to actually get this properly diagnosed, you had to go to 5 different A&E departments.
Yeah, and over 18 months of constant, pretty much harassment from my GP.
That must have been awful for you, because I've heard lots of people say this, and thinking about me and other people, you know your own body, don't you?
Absolutely.
You know when something's not right.
Well, that's what I prided myself on, because it's like, because of the work environment I was in, and because I am so passionate about it, I have to be the know-it-all. I have to be the geek of what I do. And it's like if I took an exam, my mentality was if I didn't pass 90% on the exam, I'd want to resit it.
Yeah.
Which it's a bit obsessive compulsive, but like I say, I felt I knew my own body, but for them to actually try and turn it around to make it so I felt I was making it up basically. It was shocking, but over 30 appointments with a GP and I mean, phoning him on a daily basis.
Yeah.
To actually push for the appointment. I mean, I'd got to a stage that I was like, well, maybe they're correct. Maybe I'm making it up. And obviously, my fiance, she's in the medical profession, and she was like, no, you're not well.
Yeah.
Look at you, you know. We've got to push this. And she obviously kept a finger on the pulse, and I don't know. That's why I'm still here today. So.
Well, thank God you are. And you're hoping to go to a American clinic, aren't you? Now, what's so special about that clinic?
The clinic, it's researched alternatives that complement the treatment that I'll be having, like chemotherapy. So basically, it's called integrative regulatory therapy,
right.
And it's basically trying to restore the body's natural immunity of making and taking the function to beat the cancer. So it carries on doing what the chemo is doing.
Right.
And obviously it's optimising the results from the chemotherapy.
Right, okay.
And it looks like an amazing place. It's just it's unfortunate that it's not available, you know, close to home.
And it is quite expensive. So you're hoping to raise £15,000, and you're hoping you're going to hope to take part in this, but your mates are, aren't you? You're going to be taking part in a walk from Halifax to Blackpool. That's quite a walk.
Yeah. Yeah.